You can choose what you put that energy into. You can choose what you're multiplying. You can choose what you're amplifying. You can choose everything you want to create in your life. Hey guys, I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. If you want to learn more about sexual mastery, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified when I release new videos and go live. Make sure you get my free ejaculation control course through the link in the video description below. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the energetics of sex and sexual energy. Sexuality and sexual energy is something that's pretty unconscious for most people. For most people, it's simply like, oh, I feel horny. I need to find someone to have sex with, or oh, I have this impulse to ejaculate. Let me get on Pornhub and get a quick fix there, right? For a lot of people, that's the extent of their sexual experience. It's an impulse that needs to be addressed. It's an itch that they need to scratch, right? But it can go so much deeper than this, right? Our sexual energy is our creative potential. It's our creative power. Obviously, on a physical function, one of the aspects of sex is procreation, to create another human being. So that's a potential outcome of sex, is to create a human body. We all come from orgasm. We were all birthed through the portal of orgasm. You were created when your parents had sex, they had an orgasm. That created you, right? We don't really think about this that much, but that is literally creation, is orgasm. It's sex. It's polarities merging and creating something new. So when we understand this, we can really tap into this creative power, which sexual energy is. It's this ability to build something from almost nothing, right? Napoleon Hill, in his book, Think and Grow Rich, basically said that the most successful people in the world tend to be those with a highly refined sexual nature and have this sexual energy, and they're able to transmute it and channel it into these things, right? What does that mean? I think it means basically that when you're a person with a strong sex drive and you're able to tap into it consciously and direct it into the things you want to direct it into, you become very successful at what you do, because this massive creative power of sexual energy, something that I talk about a lot, is that sexual energy is an amplifier. It's a multiplier. Obviously, on a physical level, the sperm and egg combine, multiply trillions of times to become a human body, right? That's immense energetic potential. So you've got 250 humans potentially swimming around your balls. That's the kind of power that we're working with, right? And if you're just going to ejaculate that out every single day, that's a lot of life force going down the drain. And if that's the only thing you're doing with it, you're wasting tremendous resources. And it also bonds you to things. It also is this psychic superglue. It bonds you to thoughts, to feelings, to people, to actions, to habits, and multiplies these things, right? So that's the power of sexual energy. But unfortunately, for most people, this is unconscious, and they're amplifying and multiplying and bonding the wrong things. A lot of men in this world bonding themselves to porn addiction, bonding themselves to negative, depressed emotions, bonding themselves to this victim mindset and amplifying this stuff, right? Of course, we're gonna have the situation we're in right now in the world when no one is in control of their sexual energy. So on the other hand, when you understand this and you manage it, you do your practice, you learn to open up pathways in the body so that the sexual energy can move out of the genitals and be expressed in other ways than just physical sex. You can choose what you put that energy into. You can choose what you're multiplying. You can choose what you're amplifying. You can choose everything you want to create in your life. But this takes great awareness. This is another big problem that people have on the planet right now, is that they allow their minds and their focus to be directed just anywhere, You watch CNN for an hour, see how much your emotions are manipulated, right? And so we have all these people living in a reactive mode, and they're focusing on the things that they don't want in their life. They're focusing on the fear, the lack, the limitation, the conflict, whatever. And at the same time, when you have unconscious sexual patterns, you're just watching porn every day, you're just throwing your sexual energy down the drain, you're going to have no creative ability, right? Because you're wasting it all, and you're bonding yourself to this pattern of depletion. So it's a holistic system here. Preparing your mind and body to create a new flow of sexual energy by doing the sexual kung fu exercises, opening energy channels, learning to calm your mind and not be controlled by external manipulative forces, so that you can control what you're focusing on. This is the key to being able to create the life you want to live, basically, and become the person you want to be. Anything is possible, but you have to be willing to do the work to change. And the benefit of sexual energy is that it gives you almost a shortcut to manifest things, right? Because of those powerful properties, bonding and amplifying. So You do a bit of work to clear out this unconscious garbage you've been holding on to in your mind and your body. You do some Qigong, you purge your body, do some breath work, get your system under control, open it up a bit, and then you start to cultivate your sexual energy. What does that mean? It means that, first of all, you stop leaking your Jing. Jing is your physical essence. You stop ejaculating recklessly every single day. You start to build up this reservoir of sexual energy, and then you do practices to circulate it through the body. The problem that happens when you just retain your semen and you don't do anything else is that it just feeds these lower drives. It just makes you more horny. It can make you more driven as well, but mostly you'll find yourself being gravitated towards lustful outlets, right? But when you circulate the sexual energy through the body, working with the microcosmic orbit, it changes the form of that energy. You bring it up to the heart center, it changes from this heavy, lustful energy that wants to ejaculate out, and it turns into this expansive compassion for your fellow humans, this connective energy. You start to have the consciousness that we're actually all pretty much the same. We're here together in this situation, and whatever we do to each other, we're basically doing to ourselves. So maybe we should stop fighting and acting like children and cultivate ourselves so we have the maturity to see when we're being manipulated, right? And then we can start to create from a place of harmony rather than creating from a space of reactivity in our lives. And you want to make extremely certain when you're working with sexual energy that you have a practice of keeping yourself balanced, keeping yourself harmonized. Because at any stage in your journey, if you start going back down the dark side path to fear, anger, control, greed, right? Your sexual energy is going to be gasoline on that fire and you're going to be stuck there, right? This is very important to realize. At any point on your journey, this can happen. So that's why your foundation should always be practices of harmonizing, balancing your mind and body, maintaining integrity so you don't get swept away by stupid shit, basically, right? Greed, lust, control, ego. And then you use sex, whether that's with a partner, with yourself, self-stimulation to activate, so to speak, the sexual energy. The arousal is the activation of this sexual energy. It turns into this combustive state where it's burning, it's very volatile. It's a bit difficult to control, but when you know how to balance the energy centers of the body, you combine these different elements. You bring some earth energy into that fire, it cools it down. You bring some water into that fire, it cools it down. You have a steam, you have an alchemy, you have these different forces that you're working with, refining them, moving them throughout the body, and it's enhancing the function of your body, mind, spirit complex. It is upgrading the capacity you have, so to speak, to hold energy at a much higher level. It's making you a much more causal being, meaning that you have more of an ability to affect the things around you, both within your body and in the external world, meaning that you have more responsibility. So this is really the path of sexual kung fu. It is a path of greater manifestation ability, but with great power comes great responsibility. That's why you always want to be working on yourself, working on your emotions, making sure you're always in a clear state, making sure you're not reacting and fighting and getting in conflict, right? And when you do that, when you enter into sex as a exchange with someone from the heart, a loving, compassionate exchange versus a power trip, you're trying to scratch your lustful itches, you're trying to take something, you're trying to just pull this person's energy into you and feed off of them. Instead of that, it becomes an exchange, a harmonious exchange. You love them, they love you, you orgasm together. It creates beauty. It creates healing in your mind and your body. And outward from there, it creates healing in your environment. By the law of resonance, your neighbors start to have different thoughts. They start to think, you know, maybe I should start practicing meditation. These sort of things happen when you start practicing. It's that 100th monkey effect, you know? Once enough people do this work and transform themselves, the whole collective starts to begin the shift. So these are the energetics of sexual energy and why working with sexual energy is such a powerful tool if you can maintain integrity, if you can maintain balance and have a foundation of harmony to do so. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment below. Have a great day, my friends.